Today, we're going to be training shoulders and arms. We are feeling pretty good today. I'm excited to actually get this workout. I wrote it down. I'll read it to you in just a second. It's currently how we're looking. Feeling pretty shredded. Feeling pretty solid, dude. So the shoulder day is going to be pretty challenging. It's coming from Arnold's Encyclopedia. Let me show that to you real quick. So for those of you who don't know, this is probably one of my favorite books on bodybuilding. I took this to class in high school and I read every single page. It's about 800 pages, but you'll see that it has so much information inside of this book. It's even got pictures. Let me show you something with some photos. So it's got pictures with the exercises in it. Dude, this thing is full of knowledge. It is considered one of the modern, what does he call it? It's called the Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. And dude, just check this out, man. I mean, I learned so much starting out just by going through and reading this book and reading about how to do certain exercises, how to grow certain muscles, what sets, how heavy to go, all kinds of stuff, man. And it's even got some workout programs inside of here, which I'll tell you, the level 1 beginner program is difficult. I even struggle with it. And there's a level 2, and then there's competition programs. So if you want something that's really going to push yourself, this is a pretty good book to have. And it's got some diagrams in here. So for example, most diagrams you see are going to be just like skinny, normal humans, but this is actually him. And it's really cool to see like the diagram of a bodybuilder. And so that's the front shot. And then you'll have this, it's like the back shot there. So this book is extremely valuable. And I think that if you are training and you really want to be able to up the knowledge that you've got so that you know how to train a little bit more intelligently, this is an amazing book. And it's not something that you have to read from cover to cover. It's just go to the section that you want to learn about or read about and learn from there, right? If you're going to be training chest, then flip to the chest section, read about how to train the chest and different things to note about your session, and then start picking some exercises out of this book and get to work. So I really contribute a lot of my progress to this book. It is not that expensive. I bought it on Amazon, so highly recommend that. Today's workout is actually from this book, so we're going to put it to the test. I'll actually tell you one of the principles that's on top of my mind right now that this book significantly helped me with. It talks about how when you contract your muscle, you have something known as inhibitory signals, which prevents you from over-contracting and leading into a cramp. But when you're bodybuilding, you want to learn how to recruit as many fibers as possible, and learning how to contract as hard as possible is going to help you develop more, bigger, stronger muscles. So whenever you're training, using your mind and getting into the muscle and learning how to contract and flex extremely hard. Like when I flex, it gets to the point where it almost feels like the muscle's going to cramp. And when you teach your body that you are purposely trying to contract your muscles extremely hard, it starts to send less inhibitory signals to do that, and therefore allowing you to contract even harder and having very dense muscles. Like whenever I flex my chest or whatever, it's super solid. Like it doesn't even go in. So I contribute a lot of that to just focusing on not just getting a deep stretch in the exercise, but how to contract extremely hard. And the harder you can contract, the more weight you can push. And the more weight you're pushing, the more fibers you're activating. So a little note there. All right, so for the first set, we're going to be doing about 15 reps to start it off. And then as we get into the second set, we're going to aim for about 10 to 12. Third set, about 8 to 10. And the last set is going to be 6 reps. So we're going to be progressively getting heavier. So it's important to choose the first weight, very smart, and work your way into it. All right, so for 15, that felt perfect. Now, like I said, we're going to move in between 10 to 12 rep range. Let's do it. All right, so the 60s, I got about, I think it was in like the 8 rep range, so probably would have done 55s, but that felt pretty good, so I'll stick with it. Woo. That's all right, you're good. No worries. Whew. Okay, next we have side laterals. Now what we're gonna be doing is 15 reps, 10, 8, 6. It's gonna be about the same range. So we're gonna be doing this pretty fucking strict. See if we got 15 in us here. All right. It's 15 there. Now the real stuff's gonna begin. All right. Let's get these 10 reps in. We're gonna be choosing 25s. Choosing violence. Damn. Damn. Woo. My shoulders feel good right now. We got 8 reps. Actually, we have 6 reps. So it's gonna be a lot heavier. There we go. Now the last one, we're gonna do a drop set. All right, that's it for side laterals. Next, we have heavy upright rows. These are gonna be 3 sets. We're gonna be doing 10 6, 4. A lot of people say that those are controversial, but the main reason that it's bad is if you keep a very severe like angle with your shoulders. So you want to focus on pulling with your elbows up and rowing. Just don't be stupid and use too much weight than you can handle. That's really where you come into trouble. I'd say one of the reasons why a lot of people can't keep up with training, like they'll get in good shape and they fall off, is because they never really fell in love with the process. See, like when I come in here to train, if you continue to watch videos and you learn and you educate yourself, you're always going to be excited to want to come in here and start applying that knowledge. And when you start to realize that you're losing motivation, start figuring out, did you stop watching videos? Did you stop learning? Did you stop talking to people? Like, you usually fall out of excitement and passion when you stop focusing on putting in new information. And so whatever it is that you want to be inspired by or motivated by, focus on what's going into your mind. And if you want to train shoulders and you need motivation, then go watch some shoulder training before your workout. And you're going to be able to take that information, apply it in the fucking workout, and then you're going to get excited. That's it. All right. We have push press. We're going to have 3 sets, 6, 4, and 2. Now, this is not a common exercise you see done a lot of days, now very often, but it's one of these old school exercises that I believe is essential for just being able to function as a human being. Like, you should be able to press something above your head decently heavy. And if not, like, a lot of people avoid it because it's difficult. And so they go to comfort exercises that are isolated or whatever, right? And it's important to note that, like, well, if you're a bodybuilder and your job is to compete and get on stage, yes, that makes a lot of sense because you are trying to minimize risk of injury as much as possible. But if you're just trying to stay in shape, be fit, be healthy, be functional, it might be important to make sure you incorporate exercises like this push press into your program. So I haven't done this in a long time, to be honest with you. We'll see how it goes. All right, that was pretty difficult. Woo. You're gonna notice with compound movements, dude, it takes so much more energy than to just do an isolated exercise, because with a compound movement, it requires so much more of your entire body, and you'll notice your heart rate starts to shoot up really high. So recovery is important, but you're gonna notice a different type of intensity with doing compound movements than you will with just strictly isolation training, which I believe that these compound movements play a significant role in developing very mature, dense, and strong muscles. All right, so as you can see, I took the bar actually off the boxes because for the last set, I actually want to do about 4 reps. And so what we're going to do is power clean it off the ground, try to get about 4 overhead presses with that, and we'll put it down and we'll move on to the next one. But We did it. We got 4 sets, 10, 8, 15, 10, 8, 6. Let's go. I'm gonna be using this pad to keep the momentum away. Holy shit. We got 10 reps on this. Fuck. That's it. Hey, a little quick tip here. When you hold your, no, never mind. Whenever you're holding the barbell, if you hold your hands on the inside, you work a little more of the outer bicep. And when you put your hands on the outside, you're gonna start working the inner bicep. So just make note of that whenever you're actually doing these. If you just want general mass and everything, hold them neutral. If you want a little bit more of your inner bicep thickness, hold them on the outside right here. And then again, more to outer, hold it in the middle. So originally we were going to do incline dumbbell curls, but it's taken, so we're gonna improvise with some preacher curls. Come on. Now, one of the things that a lot of people get confused about is like when you're trained to failure. Now, failure doesn't mean like putting every single ounce of your being into getting the next rep. What failure means is just like under control, right? Can you get another rep? And with me, I've pretty much tired out. Can I sling this? Yes. But do I want to? Probably not, unless you want to snap some shit. Oh my God. We're going to go ahead and drop it here. sometimes if you're not sure what speed to move at, start to move the weight a little bit slower, and you'll start to feel the muscle a whole lot more throughout the entire movement. Because if you start slinging the weight, you're not going to be able to feel it the whole way. The goal is to keep tension in the muscle the entire time. You're tense. You're still contracting here at this point, even at the bottom. And then you contract as hard as you can, and you slowly release the tension. And this is ultimately what you are doing. You are just contracting against a resistance. All right, so next up we have a close grip press, but that machine is taken. So we're gonna be improvising with this Arnold dip, and we're gonna be focusing on more on the triceps. So let's get to it. Now on this machine, I'll see a lot of people do it wrong. Like they'll lean forward and start using their chest. But if you really want to make it challenging for your triceps, keep your back pushed against the pad. Okay, you see how my angles are, my elbows? The angle is really, really closed in. So it's gonna make it a lot more difficult. Fuck yeah. All right, this exercise is going to be standing tricep extensions, but we're going to be using the barbell here. All right, we're almost finished, guys. All right, guys, that's how we're looking after today's arm workout. And something I wanted to touch up on is like when you're filming in the gym, or just in general, to build confidence, you gotta learn not to give a fuck. And learning not to give a fuck is massive when it comes to building your self-confidence. It first starts with building a physique. Most people, you can do it without building a physique, but it helps a lot. Because whenever I was younger, I was extremely shy. And I didn't really think I was like, I just wasn't fucking confident, bro. And I got picked on, I got bullied. And so whenever I started lifting weights and building a physique, that's whenever I started really feeling confident in myself because I knew that I was strong. I was building muscle and people started to see it. And so that led to me wondering what else I could do. So this led to me talking to people. I used to be super shy. And because I'm now more muscular, more mature, I feel more confident. I can approach people and I can learn not to give a fuck because I started to love who I am. I liked what I started to build. And when you build something, a character, the one that you want to be, You build it up, you get extremely confident.